Okay, I may have come up with a new name for Sally in the Wild. What about Wine in the Wardrobe? Actually, we could do a play on, is it The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe? It could be The Wine, the Witch and the Wardrobe. No, because I'm not a witch. Anyway, just something to think about. The wine, the bitch, no. For us to think about. Anyway, glass of red wine, and don't worry, I won't be drinking every time I do these, but it is 2 days before Christmas, so I am enjoying a little glass of red. How are we all? So I thought I would come back for part 2 of episode 1 of whatever we're going to call this, continuing on with our chat about wardrobe organisation and those little things that I use, those hacks that make my day-to-day life so much easier, including what we talked about in episode 1, the hooks on the back of my wardrobe doors. I can't believe I spent 10 minutes just chatting to you about bloody wardrobe hooks. But anyway, you loved it, and I'm glad that that was useful information for all of you. And I hope this will be equally useful. What I want to talk to you about today is hangers, and the hangers that I use and what I hang in my wardrobe and how I hang them. And I thought I would start off with these hangers. So I kind of call them clip hangers, bulldog clip hangers, but they're essentially the hangers that you use to hang things from the waistband. Like I've got these 2 skirts, typically like a skirt or a trouser. And that's what I use these for. And the ones that I use, as you can see, they're nothing special. They are cheap and cheerful, but I find these are the absolute best. I have tried other ones. In fact, I've got one I'll show you. But what I like about these that are pretty much available, at all your Kmarts and Targets and things, is that they're really strong and they're sturdy. So the clip itself is very strong and you don't get anything dropping from the coat hanger, because obviously some items in your wardrobe, maybe you've got, like I've got a leather skirt, some things are just naturally heavier than others, and it also means that when I hang 2 items on one hanger, and I'll come back to that in a moment and what my rule is around hanging, it can take the weight of 2 items. Whereas I have found, now if someone has found a better option than this, I find that these hangers, they look nice, but they're just useless. These clips are nowhere near as strong, and I find that stuff slips off them. So they're out, these are in. So I use these to hang up my skirts, but also, I'll get a couple out, I also use them to hang up my trousers. And typically my tailored trousers. And there's a few reasons why I generally prefer to hang my tailored trousers and kind of my dressy skirts. One, it means that you've got room for the garment to fall and therefore not crease. And I think this is particularly important when you've got a tailored trouser, and I don't mind myself a nice front pleat. And this allows for the pleat to kind of stay flat while it's hanging. But as I said, also means that the trouser's got lots of room to breathe, room to hang. And when you get the trouser out of your wardrobe or the skirt, it's nice and creaseless. So that's why I like to hang these kind of things on the hangers as much as I can. Now, getting back to how many items per hanger, the other thing I should also say is that I think that when you hang your items like this, that doesn't take up too much space. Like, even if I was to get out a couple more, it's not taking up heaps of space in your wardrobe. It's quite narrow. So I think these are a really efficient way to hang your skirts and trousers. And as you can see, I'm using all my hooks because they're so easy to use, just to hang things for, in the meantime, a temporary fix to put things away rather than as I disclosed to you in the first episode, maybe using my stool, or in my instance, my bath for my bath drobe or my stool drobe, and for some of you, your chair drobe. So another really handy reason to have these hooks. But getting back to these hooks that I use, these hangers I should say, is my only rule. I don't have a lot of rules, but I would always advise you to hang a maximum of 2 items on these hangers. All right, 1, 2, a maximum of 2. Because what happens is that if you have a third item in there, dare I say it, even more, and yes, I've seen that, but if you have more than 2 items, it means that you have to take off every single item on the hanger to access the one in the middle, and it's basically a pain in the bum, a pain in the ass, yes. So 2 maximum. It also means that when you've only got the 2, it's much easier to see the 2 items. For me, wardrobe organisation and how I arrange and organise my wardrobe is all so that when I open my wardrobe doors, I can easily see what is in there. And when you've only got 2 items on a hanger, particularly in this case, which not necessarily, but this is a good example again, both of differing colours, it makes it very easy to see when they're hanging like that, oh, I'm going to grab that pink pant or that green pant, rather than something that tends to get a little bit lost if you add multiples, more than 2 items, sorry, on the one hanger, is things get lost. And I can tell you from experience, when things get lost, when you can't see things, you forget that they're there. You simply forget that they're there, and therefore you don't wear them. So that's why I would always suggest, whether you're hanging your trousers or your skirts, 2 items per hanger, absolute maximum. And while we're on hangers, I also wanted to share with you the hangers that I have now added to my entire wardrobe over time. And this is what I always say to clients. So these flocked hangers, and they're like I think it's velvet. So it's a hanger with velvet, and here's why I like it. 1, look how skinny they are. They're so narrow. So when you hang multiple items together, they really don't take up a lot of space. I also think they look really nice. Like they're a nice looking coat hanger. Thirdly, they're slip free. So nothing is going to slip off them. So if you are, it's probably not a good wardrobe to show you as a demonstration because I don't have a lot of strappy things in here. I don't wear a lot of strappy things, but let's just say you had a strappy dress or a strappy silky top. It just means that the straps are not going to fall off because they'll grip to the hanger. Equally, I'd say the same thing if you're someone who wears a lot of silk shirts or silk blouses, even items of clothing that maybe have like a broad, wide neckline. It just means that the clothing, it kind of almost sticks to the hanger. And my advice to clients when I edit their wardrobes and make the suggestion of these hangers, just like I have done over the last probably 5 or so years, you don't have to go and buy a whole bunch of them and replace all your hangers at the one time. That can be an expensive exercise. But maybe every now and then you just add a group of 10, a next group of 10, and then slowly you weed out all your shitty hangers and replace them with these. And the other reason why I like these, or I like any hanger that is uniform, so when you open up your wardrobe, everything is kind of the same. What it does is it allows you, or it enables you, or gives you the feeling, I should say, that your wardrobe is appealing, that it looks very uniform, it's tidy, it's attractive. A little bit like, think about how you feel when you're browsing in a boutique that you love, your favorite store. Everything looks shiny, it looks new, it looks organized, it looks enticing. And think about your wardrobe just like shopping. Essentially, we are shopping our wardrobes every day when we get dressed. So personally, this is why I think having nice hangers and having hangers that are all the same in time is actually a really good thing for your wardrobe, for your personal style, for getting dressed, and also giving you that increased sense of joy and familiarity and what's the other word I'm just trying to think? Like joy. Okay, come on, Sally. Joy, affection, love, and want to wear your wardrobe, because when you open it up, you go, oh wow, how nice does that all look, my clothing? And it's not about how much is in your wardrobe. It's certainly not about how much your wardrobe costs, how much you spend on your wardrobe. It has nothing to do with that. I would often say that if you are someone who doesn't spend a lot of money on their clothes, there's even more reason to make your wardrobe look beautiful. It's a really simple thing that you can do to entice you to feel positive, essentially, about your wardrobe, whatever that might be. Okay, that's already 11 minutes, and I haven't even had a sip of my red wine, so I'm going to do that, and I will leave this here, and I look forward to bringing you part 3, which, to be fair, will probably be after Christmas. Have a good one. Bye.